Hey y'all, happy Monday. So let's talk, right, about Esther. From Esther, chapter 4 says that she was put here for such a time as this, and how Esther challenged and overcame the spirit of fear that was set against her. How did that transformation take place? That's what we talked about on Thursday last week. I missed you all on Friday. But the transformation came when Esther had an encounter with the Father. That is what transformed her. That is what gave her the confidence to go boldly into the throne room of the king, unsummoned, right? To stand up for the Jewish people, her people, God's people. And so in all of these that we have been looking at that show us the transformation from the spirit of fear to the spirit that God has given us, his very spirit on the inside of us, there has been a turning point, and it is trusting God. He can be trusted. He is trustworthy. And with Esther, we saw that she fasted for 3 days, had the Jews fast with her for 3 days to overcome self. 1 John chapter 4, I've read quite a bit over the past few weeks. And that's the chapter that tells us that God is love. 1 John 4:8 says, "He who does not love has not become acquainted with God, for God is love." And verse 18 says, "There is no fear in love. Dread does not exist." And that is where we can grow to become, that we can live in a place of being free from fear. Do you know, Peter also experienced quite the transformation from fear to faith. We can read about Peter in Matthew chapter 26. And I think most of us relate to Peter in some way or another. And so, Peter is the one that has received revelation, right? That the Father has revealed that Jesus is the Christ. He's the Messiah. And he is, ready, set, go. And then Jesus says during the Last Supper, 26:31. Jesus says this during the Last Supper. This is Matthew 26:31. "Then Jesus said to them, 'You will all be offended and stumble and fall away because of me this night, distrusting and deserting me. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after I am raised up to life again, I will go ahead of you to Galilee.' And Peter declared to him, 'Though they all are offended and stumble and fall away because of you, and distrust and desert you, I will never do so.' Jesus said to him solemnly, 'I declare to you, this very night, before a single rooster crows, you will deny and disown me 3 times. Peter said to him, 'Even if I must die with you, I will not deny or disown you.' And all of the disciples said the same thing." Well, let's skip over a few verses. Same chapter, Matthew 26:69 through 75. Peter was sitting outside in the courtyard, and one maid came up to him and said, "You were also with Jesus, the Galilean." But he denied it falsely before them all, saying, "I do not know what you mean." And when he had gone out to the porch, another maid saw him, and she said to the bystanders, "This fellow was with Jesus the Nazarene." And again he denied it and disowned him with an oath, saying, "I do not know the man." And after a little while, the bystanders came up and said to Peter, "You certainly are one of them, for even your accent betrays you." Then Peter began to invoke a curse on himself and to swear, "I do not even know the man." And at that moment, a rooster crowed. And Peter remembered Jesus' words. And when he had said, before a single rooster crows, you will deny and disown me 3 times. And he went outside and wept bitterly. That's where we're going to end today. Remember this. This is the Peter of today. And tomorrow we'll look at Peter's transformation. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.